I'm Jaixai. Do you or did you ever feel like in a small town there wasn't much change or possibility that could happen? It just seemed like a boring town of 20,000 people. For many people here, welcome to Brookings, South Dakota. You may view this town as I just described, but wait, change doesn't have to be extreme. It doesn't have to be an invention or make you famous. It just has to be an idea. Brookings and many towns like Brookings are small, less-known towns that are full of innovative possibility. I moved here as a 5th grader in 2015. I came from Detroit, Michigan, so my parents would always drive me downtown and show me the old crumbling train stations, opera houses, and office buildings. Many people would think of it as just trash, just a pile of junk on the road that should be replaced by a new building. It was the same with what I called Detroit letters, also known as graffiti. But no, it wasn't just the bits and pieces left over from a building. The letters weren't paint on the wall. To me, they were both art. They brought character and meaning to the town, something most cities today seem to lack or lose. In my mind, the other buildings were the junk on the side of the road. They didn't bring the same meaning as the historic, dilapidated buildings. Artists saw blank walls, they took one look and called it a canvas. Most people look right through this. Now, being used to the city, when I learned I was moving to South Dakota, I didn't know what to think. I started having dreams of my friends and I wearing my Little House on the Prairie dress and bonnet. I didn't understand why everyone was looking at me strange. I did, however, see plain fields of corn and soy. So bland, so brown, so full of possibility. And just like a Detroit artist, I told myself to make it my canvas. It was my turn and my opportunity. I was going to change the world with corn, soy, and a packet of unclassified wildflower seeds that I got from TEDxBrookings. When I was young, I used to watch TED Talks with my dad all the time. I didn't realize how many lives the events impact or change because of simple yet creative ideas. I was inspired when I learned that Brookings had a TEDx event. TEDxBrookings was the first TEDx event I had ever been to. That was a year ago, yet I wouldn't be here today if it weren't for TEDx. I lived in a big city for 8 or so years, and not once was I given the opportunity to go to a TEDx event. I had to move to a small town for such an opportunity. Now, it took some time to think about what picture to paint or problem to solve, but eventually it came to me. If Brookings had a TEDx event, why couldn't I? And in May of last year, I did just that. I hosted the first ever youth-organized TEDx youth event in South Dakota, TEDx Pioneer Park Kids. I was thrilled when many individuals and local businesses supported the event. The event was a huge success. We couldn't have live speakers because it was the first event, but we could have live performance breaks in between short talks by young leaders from around the world. Our first performance was a Native American hoop dancer from Bushnell, South Dakota. Another was the youngest person to win the title of World Champion Yo-Yo Master. He won the competition at age 11. We also had many fun activities like soap felting and creating electric circuits. Because we are on a farm, everyone had a chance to interact with the different farm animals. During the event, all of the attendees planted the unclassified wildflower seeds in a small garden. The garden was also yarn bombed to add character to it and make it its own. The flowers represented the blooming and blossoming of new ideas. And only a few months later, this is what it looked like. I want people my age to know that it is never too early to start changing the world. It may be hard for a kid to relate to other accomplished adults, but they may be inspired by other kids who are going through the same learning process as them. Because of my event, I believe my friends are more aware of things that they can do to change the world too. Following my event, evidence that it had changed Brookings started to appear. For instance, the Fiberworks Guild in downtown Brookings started having yarn bombing events. So just remember this. If change isn't worthwhile or isn't possible in a small town, then why am I standing right here today? And how was TEDxBrookings the first TEDx event I had ever been to? Because the organizers of this event took the time to change a small part of my life and yours. Thank you.